Electronic Arts came out and admitted Dragon Age the Veilguard was a financial flop with only 1.5 million copies sold. This was like the next big thing. So many woke journalists and woke outlets were praising it. They were excited. Top surgery scars, cutscenes about the punishments that you take when you misgender somebody, cringe character designs. I remember people were literally attacking people calling this game out. Well, you guys just don't like stuff, and everything that you guys label that you don't like is woke. They were all trying to say that we were desperate for this game to fail, that we were desperate for this game to be woke so that we wouldn't have egg on our face. Well, guess what? This game failed. 1.5 million copies sold, struggling after months of this game being out is a flop. And guess what? This was 50% lower than Electronic Arts projected. So you got to enjoy it, right? What happens? What have we learned, ladies and gentlemen? If you inject wokeness into your video games, if you try to cater to this modern audience, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to flop. And I would venture to say that this is the last Dragon Age game we're going to see in quite some time. Remember, outlets like IGN ranked this higher than actual good games like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and other games that were much more better than this. Yeah, Concord, Dustborn, all these games that all these woke shills try to pass off at as video game reviews from outlets like IGN, Polygon, Kotaku, you name it. They've all shown that they have no credibility, and Dragon Age Veilguard is probably one of the biggest flops we've seen in quite some time. So they published preliminary results for their third quarter fiscal year of 2025 over there at EA, and they officially confirmed that BioWare's Dragon Age the Veilguard has not only failed critically, but financially. This is a nail in the coffin for a company that was great at one point. I mean, look at the previous Dragon Age game, Inquisition. Fantastic. Now, Veilguard, they decided, hey, we're going to placate all these woke lunatics out there. We're going to cater to this LGBTQ narrative, and it's going to do great, right? You all saw where it goes. Nobody wants this stuff in their games, despite all these wokies telling you that bitching and complaining about DEI is meaningless and pointless, that it doesn't exist, that there's no woke agenda, and that actual real gamers don't care about this, that you can go out in the street and talk to people about this and they wouldn't care. Bull crap. That is just cope and seething from all these idiots out there that are in gaming. All these woke shills, all these people that pander to modern audiences, they don't know what they're talking about. And they try to say that you guys that listen to rage bait grifters like myself, Smash, Hypnotic, Grums, you name it, they try to say that you guys aren't intelligent, that you guys are basically trailer park trash that can't think for yourselves. But the numbers speak volumes here. Honestly, since the game has only sold 1.5 million copies, in the first 2 months, it released October 31st, right? We're going into the middle of January. That is bad. Now, according to this article that I saw, I read an article from 80.lv. It said, according to EA's statement, the studio had initially anticipated mid-single-digit growth in live services net bookings, but now projects a mid-single-digit decline. That the majority of this change is attributed to EA's global football games, which have seen double-digit net bookings growth for 2 consecutive fiscal years, but experienced a slowdown of early momentum in quarter 3 fiscal year 2025 that failed to carry through to the end. And a huge part of this decline is attributed and further compounded by Veilguard's poor performance. So this game single-handedly stunted their growth, stunted their projections, and that's not good. People get fired for this. People get laid off for this. We've already seen creative directors having to step away. Coring Bush, ring a bell? And then we're also hearing rumors of Edmonton's office being shut down here very shortly. Jeff Grubb tried to deny it. He tried to steal this whole story that Grums and Smash originally broke. But then he tried to say that the studio is not closing. Now, rumored is in February, this will be closing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if in February, Edmonton's BioWare studio shuts down or not. Because performances like these cause people to lose their jobs. And let's be honest, the reason why it performed this way is because people saw all the bullcrap, all the red flags, all the patterns that were coming out about this game. 1.5 million players by the end of 2024, which was nearly 50% below the publisher's expectations. How much money was the budget for this game? How much money do you think they lost? I think they lost a few hundred million. I mean, look at what Ubisoft's been losing with Skull and Bones, with Star Wars Outlaws, with soon-to-be Assassin's Creed Shadows. Dragon Age Veilguard is easily up there as far as budget goes. So, as a result, EA has revised its net bookings outlook for the fiscal year 2025, projecting the net bookings to be around 2.215 billion for the third quarter and an updated range of 7 billion to 7.15 billion for the full fiscal year. So for the third quarter, they expect the GAAP net revenue to be approximately 1.883 billion, with a GAAP diluted earnings per share estimated at 1.11. Now, that's a lot of technical speak, but if you're having to make adjustments like that, it can't be good, right? Cannot be good. So also, on top of that, Electronic Arts, their shares have apparently dropped 11.5% and extended after hours trading. When the stocks start to go down, that's when shareholders start to question. That's when investors start to question. That's when you see a lot of bleeding, a lot of red. And this is why companies need to stop trying to cater to this modern audience. This is why companies like EA and BioWare and all the other ones, Ubisoft, you name it, they need to stop catering to this modern audience because it always backfires. 2024 proved that. Nobody shows out to fully support woke efforts because these people don't really believe in the activism that they're trying to promote. Why are you trying to impress people that don't support? Impress your consumers. Impress the main demographic of middle-aged men, 25 to 45, that support your content, that support your entertainment, that buy movies, music, TV, video games. We're the core demographic, and it seems like all these people are doing everything to push us away. None of us want created characters with top surgery scars or ugly character designs, or video games are just so off the mark of the original source material that we fell in love with playing throughout the years. Sure, there's a small, minor percentage of people that might want that weird, groomy, mental illness type of stuff in video games, but the main core demographic of gamers don't want that, which is why everything is flopping so bad. And it looks like EA had to learn the hard way with their big game of the year barely cutting it. Barely cutting it. They've had to have lost millions of dollars on this. 1.5 million copies sold. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Veilguard. You couldn't even pay me to play this game. Jesus Christ.